right, and away we go here, people. It is Friday, December 20th, 2019. Let that marinate for a little bit. T-minus 11 days till the end of a decade. That is right, the end of 2019. Getting ready for a whole new decade, a whole new 2020. But we got 11 days to make it a very profitable end of the 2019, and we do that in the NBA with this very show. It is the NBA tip-off show. It is powered by WagerTalk.com. I'm Joe Raineri. We got our man Hakeem Profit here, Tony, Finn. We're supposed to have Rob Vino. Hopefully he's going to show up. If he doesn't, I'm on goal with him. We'll figure it out. We'll get a guest. We'll get somebody to come in there and maintain his spot, but it's the NBA, guys. It was a short card last night, but when you've got two games that represent three of the best teams in all of the NBA going at it, there is some fun here. It's a good card here tonight, too. We'll get to some of our best bets, break these games down. But let's start, guys, with what we had last night, because I believe, there was one guy here on a panel that had Milwaukee, but it wasn't you two. I don't know what happened. Ski, I'm looking for those because you had Laker poster. Like, I don't know what happened, brother. I don't know what happened last night. Talk to me.
Lakers got that ass whipped is what happened. I can't say nothing else, but that Lakers need the bench. I mean, they had 4 bench points the whole game. They're missing Kuzma. They need a healthy Avery Bradley. They just need to get healthy, pretty much. So Bucks took advantage. Congratulations to you, Joe. No Laker posters on this side today. Nothing,
huh? You got nothing coming that way there. That's an unfortunate situation there. Talk to me, Finn. What did you think last night when you saw them go down the way they did? Were you like, wow, these guys are beyond good, or what were your feelings on that?
I think you spelled it out. The bench. When George Hill scores 20-plus points for Milwaukee, they're going to be pretty tough to beat, guys.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the bottom. I don't care who they're playing. They'd be playing. The Alaskan Almighties or whatever it is. You know, the ones that those Alaskan basketball players, they come out of the woodwork, and they will surprise you. It wasn't a surprise, really. It's not. I mean, the Lakers didn't play really well early, and I'm concerned now how much energy they expended, because they made a little run at the end,
right,
and did so at the expense of some minutes and some time. This time of year, any time of the year, guys, those things concern me in the following games.
So you're gonna wait to fade them? Is that what I'm hearing from you?
I'm just trying to. I know there's only 3 of us, so I'm just kind of trying to mumble through a few things.
Was that where you were going with that? Because I was kind of curious how you were going to where you were going to get out of that. But that wasn't the only game going on there last night, gentlemen. Was it? Was it not?
Which was what?
We had another game going on there tonight, and what's the matter? We had another game going on in Brooklyn last night. Oh, we got our new guest. Look at that, the new king. Right. Look at that, Ski. I'm not sure if you saw that right there, but we got our 4th guest here. We'll just let that marinate here while you work on that. Those. Can
we get a close up of him?
Yes, absolutely. Because in case you don't, there he is.
Yeah.
Okay. The new king is here, guys. He is here. He is alive. He is well. And listen, that was without Bledsoe. But maybe the most important thing, and I think people lost sight of this, because we talked about the total yesterday on this show in that game. And it kept inching up, and we said, you know what? If AD comes, 2 things are going to happen. The line's probably going to come down a little. Total's going to go up a little. And it did, but I think – Ski, correct me if I'm wrong. People forget this is 2 of the best defensive teams in the NBA. They held them to 17 damn points in the first quarter. I mean, it was, he got his triple-double, LeBron, and AD scored his points. But defensively, they keep coming at you, man, this Bucks team.
Most definitely 2 of the top defenses in the league. And Anthony Davis, he can make a case for Defensive Player of the Year. So, he's going to make a big difference on that end.
Yep.
And when you don't have anybody who can create their own shot for the Lakers, it's very easy for the Bucks to shut that team down.
Yes, it is. And I think, we talked about it. Kuzma, we've said it, very valuable to this damn team. Sorry, guys, it very valuable. He's kind of laughed off because he's not, it's not LeBron and AD. But Kuzma is a difference maker on that thing. I love Dwight Howard this year. I love what he's done. I love how he's transformed himself. But, man, they don't have the depth is an issue there for the Lakers.
When I handicap the Lakers, Howard doesn't even come into play. Truthfully, he just doesn't even come into play. I like Dwight Howard, or at least I like him now. But he's not a regular mouth on TNT and ESPN and those kind of things. But he's not. Again, I'll say it again. When George Hill scores 20, for Milwaukee guys, I'm serious. This team's going to be difficult to beat. Really difficult, even for the Western Conference.
Yep, and not only. That game last night, we did have the, oh, hell no, San Antonio Spurs, which, to everyone's credit here, Ski and Rob yesterday brought up on his show, man, first half, Brooklyn Nets, it was night and day, Ski, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, the records were ridiculous. San Antonio don't play in the first half. Brooklyn usually does, and that was a winning play last night.
Definitely winning play. And second half, all Spurs, they just domination over the Nets. I don't really have much to say about it. It's just Dinwiddie and nobody else for Brooklyn.
Yeah, no, and that seems to it's been a good run here for Brooklyn on the road. We were talking about it yesterday, Tony. We were trying to figure out that line kept moving from 2 to 2.5 to 3 to 4, and you pointed out that ain't Joe Public money, man. There were some sharps on that play last night. Love San Antonio.
That's correct, and. I'm not one of these guys, or not one of these touts, or handicappers, or consultants, whatever you want to call us, that speaks to, hey, we're going to just fade the public every game. The public wins too.
Yes.
And when you view, or when we talk about sharp money, we're not telling you that that's the winning side. We're saying that these guys are still investing money. They're still pushing dollars over the counter because they've been successful, so let's be wary.
Yep, and of course there was another game last night here that I don't know if you guys caught the show there yesterday, but there's somebody on this panel loves Utah. I don't know if he's secretly going there. I heard he spent like a couple of years in Spokane, but he desperately wanted to get to Salt Lake. He thought it was Salt Lake. It was actually Spokane. Talk to me about the Utah Jazz in that spot last night against Atlanta, who continues to be terrible. But again, it's like second half finishing games here, Tony Finn, with Utah.
Well, let's be clear. First off, the Jazz have been decent on the road in this situation. I think I explained yesterday against less thans. And yesterday's game, they really kind of it felt like to me, at least the 15 or 20 minutes of that game I watched. I didn't watch the whole thing, but the parts that I did watch, they seemed pretty relaxed. Didn't seem to be overly energetic, and they did what they do against these lesser opponents. And you and I spoke before this program went live, and that is we must be a little bit wary about a Utah team laying a touchdown or more on the road against anybody, because they're capable with their ability to defend to win by whatever they want to inside 10. They're going to win by 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yesterday, I thought that game was covered. I really thought that was covered going in the fourth, and I was wrong. We fell a basket short.
It was a tough watch, Ski. I mean, Utah, because the game really was, like Tony said, you felt like they could have won by 20. They could have won by 9. They could have won. They pretty much could have won by anything. Oh, yeah. They actually had the chance, too, except for, when a 9-foot dude can't, shoot the ball down into the basket for a free throw, we got ourselves an issue here, Ski.
Yeah, that was a killer right there. I mean, you get 4 chances. You can't even make, half of them? You can't make 2 free throws? That's just pitiful. 0-4 from the line for Gobert. The one thing Tony said, we have to be a little bit wary of laying a touchdown with the Jazz on the road. I mean, that's very true. Looking at the Jazz record, they're not even a winning team on the road right now. They're 6-8, so definitely look at that going forward.
Yep, keep that in mind. In Atlanta, it keeps getting worse there in Atlanta. So I feel bad for Trae Young, but I think he'll be just fine because he's got more money than all of us. So we're good to go there.
Do not feel bad for him.
Well, he'll have Collins back too in one more game, 2 more games?
Is it next week, I think, right? At some point next week, he'll have him back. So, and get ready. It's going to be a huge Christmas broadcast, guys. Obviously, we got 5 games, I think, on Christmas. 4 games, 5 games. So it's going to be a big week next week, kind of ending the first half of the NBA season. Looking forward to the second half right after Christmas. And another surprise, they were getting 5 points. That total kept creeping up, guys. We kept talking about it. Started out at 231.5, Tony Finn. You talked about it, like, sharps are hammering the over here at 235.5. The Houston Rockets and the Clippers, another one of those games where you kind of felt like you turned it off because the Clippers had it in hand.
Yeah. Again, like I said, that's we'll speak to it here again, guys. There's not a 100-point lead that's safe in the NBA.
Yep.
It is. Look around you. Never before in that I can ever remember, and it's not like I'm 1,000 years old, but I'm close. And I do not remember any season after only 30-plus games where we have had more 20-point leads disappear in the NBA. And why is that, you guys? Why is it? Because no one seems to want to play defense, or at least the majority of these teams do not want to play defense. The paint has become an obsolete art, and no matter how far you move that arc, that three-point line out, these guys are going to figure out how to make buckets.
Yep.
They're right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they certainly are. All right, let's dive into some of these plays here, guys, tonight. Some of the games, pretty good card on tap for you. And again, want to remind you guys, head over to WagerTalk.com. These two gentlemen can be located there. You can get, of course, Ski's plays tonight available for you, as is Tony Finn's all weekend long, guys. Big weekend here in the NBA, available at WagerTalk.com. And, guys, I'll start. A team here that one of you guys is part of the, oh, hell no, are we ever playing them? And another team that I think we all admit, pretty impressive what they've been able to do as of late. How about Memphis taking on those hell no Cleveland Cavaliers, Ski? Memphis kind of like in that 1 point range right now, I think is what the line is, somewhere in that ballpark. Last I checked, I think Cleveland was getting 1.5. The total in this matchup, somewhere around that 223, 224 mark. What do you think here, Ski? You still hell no on the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Yeah, I'm still hell no. I mean, they got the win slightly. They didn't get the cover, but I'm a little bit – I have to look at it a different way. And the way I'm going to look at it, I mean, this is the first game that Memphis is going to be a favorite on the road. We like Memphis, but usually it's catching points, not laying points. And like we said, they're playing good, 5-1 against the spread their last 6. The way I have to look at this one, Grizzlies have been good on that first half. First half on the road, they're 8-3-1. They've cashed their last 6 first halves, all of them against the spread. And the Cavs at the house on the first half, they're 3-11. Looking at the last 3 games, the first half point margin, Memphis plus 13, Cavs minus 6. So I would be looking to fade the Cavs, and I would be looking to play on Memphis in that first half.
I'm seeing a lot of 2s right now across the board. The total, Finn, has come down here, opened up at 224. I'm seeing a lot of 222, 221.5s in this spot here. You got any love for Cleveland at all in this spot?
Not really. No, I don't.
Okay, good stuff.
I really don't. This is a game, as Ski just mentioned, I like Memphis this year. I like them especially when they're catching a number of significance in this game. They're not. How many times you said, Ski, I think mentioned this would be the first time Memphis has been a road favorite, the first time this year?
Right.
How many times total has Cleveland been a favorite, period? I think twice, 3 times, maybe?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Did they win? Were they a favorite in that last game that they came back, that they won?
They were.
Small favorite, right? They were small chalk. The first 2 times they were favorites, I believe they lost both of them straight up, right? It's tough right now. They rank in the bottom 10% of both offensive and defensive adjusted ratings. The rumors that they are not getting along, or there's locker room issues, et cetera, continue to float around the cyberspace. But when it comes to Cleveland, really at this point in time, guys, they're one. Unless I'm desperate for a player, I'm searching for something to write about in a free play, I typically look right over them. I pass right over them, guys.
Get right over them. All right, so we got a
Even when
first
I'm
half
desperate.
backing there, huh?
What?
Even when I'm desperate, I won't look.
It's that sick. As it is what it is, man. If you're new to the show, welcome in. There is 2. So we're on record here. 2 hell no teams, okay, with Mr. Profit here. One of them you just heard, hell no. The other we played last night there in the San Antonio Spurs. But maybe he'll turn the corner with them. I doubt it very much. All right, guys, let's go. Another game here tonight on the card. I heard they're holding tryouts right now. There was a rumor that the doctor might be trying out for him since the entire friggin' team is a mass unit now. Toronto Raptors, Gasol, gone. Powell, gone. Fleet, gone. Siakam, gone. I don't know what's left except for the fact that they are still laying 6 points here at home against a Washington Wizards team. Ski, talk to me here, brother. Is it, I don't know, is it an automatic under, over? I don't know what the hell to make of it.
Yeah, see, it's kind of tough for me because the first thing I look at when I see all these players out, Siakam and all those guys, I mean, instantly I think less points. Like, where are all the points going to come from? But, I mean, I look a little bit more. Yeah, I look a little bit more. The Wizards don't play a lick of defense, and the Wizards want to run up and down the court. And I think Toronto won't have a problem running with them. So just them going up against a team who's going to play no defense, it's kind of tough for me to back that under. Wizards, they've been good in this road dog role. They're 9-5 as a road dog. They haven't really been playing well lately. I don't like that they're missing They're missing all of their big men. It's a tough call for me.
Yep.
I can't really back the Raptors minus the 6. If I'm playing it, I'd have to grab the points with Washington, and the total is kind of tricky to me.
Yeah, it's a crazy total, guys. And it hasn't moved.
Man, it probably won't move. I don't know that this total is gonna. Is there sharp guy? Is there an outfit out there or 10 outfits out there that believe that can handicap this kind of a game where you have so many significant players absent and so many question marks, especially about did they hold Washington up at Custom when they were flying in? Did they hold them up for like 5 hours to try to get an edge somehow? I'll tell you this much. The backcourt of Toronto right now, the whole Toronto team, is going to have issues keeping up, at least backcourt and points in period in this game. And Ski's correct. If you're going to play this game with all these injuries, Washington's, I think, 10 or 7-1 or 11-7-1, and depending on your store, against the spread the last 20-plus times as a road dog. They may not. They're not going to win. But typically they're getting some points, and tonight the points they're getting, I think, are worth taking.
Boston Celtics, gentlemen, big win over Dallas here a couple of nights ago on the road. They follow it up by going home to take on the Pistons, rather. And, of course, Detroit was at home, threw up all over themselves against those Toronto Raptors just a couple of nights ago. Opened up as a 7.5-point favorite to Celtics. I'm seeing a lot of 9s out there, guys. Total is creeping down, though, 215 to 213.5, 213s. Ski, we don't often like the Pistons on the road in any way, shape, or form. We only like them at home, and then even then we're questioning our judgment there. Talk to me about the Celtics, though. It's creeping up to double digits here. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, you already spoke on Detroit. The Celtics, well, we saw last game, no Smart, no Hayward. They're still okay as long as they have Brown, Tatum, and Kemba. And Detroit, they're now missing Blake Griffin and Luke Kennard. That's a lot of offense going for Detroit.
Right.
So it's really hard for me to see them keeping up here. Boston is really good at the house. They're playing well. They're 5-2 against the number of their last 7 games. It will be Boston or nothing for me as far as the spread. The total, I would agree with that line move going down towards the under. Like I said, a lot of points missing on that Detroit side with Luke Kennard and Blake Griffin gone. And they went under 6 of their last 7 road games. Not as good on the road than at home. Boston under 10 of their last 15 games in general. This went under 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two. I think it can stay under that total.
All right, looking towards the under. What do you think about that, Tony? Are you a big under fan here? You like the total, or should we look at Dr. Chuck RX before he starts crying like a little?
Let's just do this. Let's keep it simple. Even if Drummond and Griffin were in this lineup healthy,
right?
This is the type of a lineup that Boston, especially on the parquet, especially at home, does a great job of confounding. And even with their size, even with their limited size, 6'8" being typically the biggest player in the paint for the Celtics. And this team has been, you guys have mentioned it, this team's been horrible on the road. I think they're 6-16 or something against the spread at 20+ as a underdog, and it gets even less than that, even less than as far as percentage-wise, probability-wise, and profit-wise when they are dogs of 7 or more, if I'm not mistaken. So,
Right.
no, this is Boston or nothing for me.
That's it, guys. One or the other. Boston or absolutely nothing. But not nothing if you head over to WagerTalk.com, guys. Make sure you get these guys' plays here. Ski and Tony available all weekend long. Hop in there. Get yourself a 3-day weekend package. Don't even bother. Don't worry about missing plays. Just hop on them. Get tonight, tomorrow, Sunday, Monday. All available for you right now at WagerTalk.com. They'll be doing this all weekend here in the NBA. And listen, since we're being joined by Crybaby Dr. Chuck RX there, why don't we talk about his boy Embiid right now, who finds himself at home. And oh, look at this there, Ski, taking on the Dallas Mavericks. That's right, the Dallas Mavericks coming off of that home loss to Boston we told you a couple of nights ago. Opened up as a 7.5-point home favorite. Oh, yeah, Philadelphia got their ass handed to them, and the tears started rolling down by Dr. Chuck there the other night by Miami. But listen, it's at the 8 now. I'm seeing 8.5s. The total also creeping down a little bit, 213.5. I'm seeing 212s. Talk to me, Ski. I mean, Dallas, have they figured out rotations that'll work here in the middle of no Doncic season?
Yes, potentially, but I know I also see Seth Curry as a game time decision in addition to Luka out, and I do not like that. He's been playing well, shooting well. DeLon Wright, game time decision. I don't want additional guys out with Luka. I mean, I think they need everybody else when he's out. Dallas has been good as a road dog, 5-1. They've been especially good on the first half on the road. They're 11-1 against the number on the road in the first half. So if I'm picking Dallas, I will be looking towards that to take them early. They're playing good in general, 12-4 against the spread their last 16 games. And Philly, we know they're home dominant. They did just take a home loss, but they don't necessarily cover at their house. They're 7-8 as a home favorite. They're 1-4 against the number of their last 5 games. If I'm playing this one, I probably would lean towards grabbing the points with Dallas just because I don't trust Philly to win by margin.
How about it, Tony? What do you think, man? Are you trusting Philly? You got any more love for Philly? Trust in Philly here in this spot?
My feelings for Philly are always going to be about the same, and I think it's situational with
number,
Philly.
Man.
And here's the deal with Dallas has been really good on the road. They've been better on the road than they have been at home in net ratings, et cetera, et cetera. However, that was with Doncic. So without him, say that performance where I stepped out in front of the Milwaukee winning streak, right? And that was a game after they'd been embarrassed by Miami and Doncic got hurt. I still think here's the deal. Without Curry, I think that if you're going to play Philly, then grab the number up that's there right now, which is ugly. It's hard on the eyes to even look at that number with Philly. You know, it's difficult to look at. But if there's no Curry tonight, then this is a bad spot for Dallas.
It is a bad spot for Dallas, like a big time bad spot for Dallas, and I don't trust any of them. And we've got you moving all over the place here, so we'll figure it out in a minute. There, apparently he switched seats on his Ski. I had no idea, so now he's moved over to Dr. Chuck's spot. So let's move over to the New York Knicks, shall we, guys? Because the New York Knicks are in my neck of the woods tonight, Miami Heat. This game worries me, Ski. We talked about it a little bit before. Like, I want to back the Knicks, but very hard for me to do it in this particular spot. But somebody's betting the Knicks here, Ski, because you know what? It opened up at 10.5. I'm seeing single digits here now, brother. So what do you think? Do the Knicks have a shot here tonight?
I definitely think the Knicks have a shot. Miami coming off that big game versus the Sixers. I think it could be a letdown spot here. And this is a Knicks team who's been playing really gritty. I mean, since they got their new coach, 5-1 against the spread their last 6 games. They're 8-6 as a road dog on the year. They're 7-4 versus 55% when teams are greater. I think it's a great spot to play on the Knicks. I would be grabbing the points. I don't really see Miami winning by double digits here in this one. I know they've been great at home, but I just think it's a letdown coming off that big win versus the Sixers.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. And what do you think here, Finn? Is there a possibility at all that the New York Knicks can pull this off?
I surrender.
Oh.
I swear I waved the white flag with the Knicks. When you have a team that in 11 of their first 12 games couldn't break 104 points in the season, and all of a sudden they go to from Fizz to Mill on the bench and 140 points.
Yeah.
We talked about this. Was that more about the Knicks or was that more about Atlanta? And according to Ski, that was about the Knicks. Well, then you better start playing the Knicks, because if they're going to score 140 points a game, if they're going to score 120 a game, they're going to be tough. They're going to be animals against the spread, against the number. I like Miami here. If there's a team, even after all these years, that the management and the coaching staff do not like in Miami, it is the New York Knicks. Why? Well, it goes way back. It goes back to Riley. It goes back to Ewing. It goes back to a long ways. This Riley and his staff are, they all sleep together. So they're all one. And I would be, if I was going to play this game, guys, I would be on Miami. But then here I go again. I'm not preaching or following my own advice, and that is have a short memory. Are these Knicks going to be better from this point moving forward? Is Miller the reason? What's going on? That's my question.
Yep.
And Tony,
yeah,
I have to say, like, with these Knicks, you can't really look at full season stats anymore, because this is looking like a new team. Right. You have to look at the stats from the last 6 games.
Yep. But let me ask you this then. This is, I've seen this 100 times too. Not 100 times, maybe an aberration or an exaggeration. But I'm glad to see the Knicks doing what they're doing. In fact, I'd love to see them go on like a 10-game tear where they beat the number up a little bit.
Right.
Because then as soon as the odds makers make those adjustments, I'm going to be firing away at them, fading them, not backing them, because I'm going to have value on the line.
Last 5 games, Knicks, listen, they're scoring. Their defense hasn't necessarily gotten any better. Last 5 games, to Ski's point, still giving up 113, 114 points per game. The problem is the Heat average around 117 per game. It's even a little bit better at home sometimes. The over 6-0, though, Ski, in the Heat's last 6 overall. What do you think? Should we be looking at this total maybe with a little more overness to it?
What's the number on this one?
214 right now, and I believe, let me just double check. It's pushed up to 216. Opened up at 214. I'm seeing 216 now.
I agree with the line move. It's not two of the faster playing teams. When I look at the last 5 games, pace-wise, 20th and 21st. But Miami's defense has been regressing just a little bit. Over their last 5 games, the defensive rating has dropped to 21st. So just not good for either defense. And the offenses have been there for New York. They're in the top 10 now as far as offensive rating last 5 games. They're sitting at 9th and Miami's 5th. So I just see 2 offenses that have been efficient, and I think that continues here. Even though they play a little bit slower, the total's not too high. So I would lean towards the over with the line move.
Finn,
and Joe,
talk to me, man. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I don't know. Shits and giggles, Joe? I don't know.
We'll get there. I'm stewing in it right now. I'm doing the pot, man. I'm just going with the pot. It could be, because we got a lot of possible shits and giggles here, parlays that work with, which is why I want to know where Finn lies on this one. Finn, Portland, your team, the Trailblazers, at home, 10 o'clock tonight, West Coast game, taking on the Orlando Magic. And Portland, to say the least, guys, don't look now. They find themselves near that 8th spot there in the West, maybe overtaking Sacramento here. They've kind of put it together. 3.5 is what it opened up. I'm seeing 3.5 and 4 steal the total, right around 216, 217 here. Finn, you like Portland's chances here at home tonight?
Well, you guys laughed at me when I said late Portland was that big number in the last game, and while it was very close, they did cover it.
In our defense, we usually laugh at you, though,
and that's okay.
Okay,
yeah,
all right,
I have no issue being laughed at.
Okay.
In fact, if I let that get to me, I would have been committed a long time ago.
But
here's the deal:
if the jacket
this is a bad spot for Portland. The one thing you need to have when you're playing Orlando now is Orlando. Are they beat up after playing at altitude twice? Now they're going to Portland. This has been a long road trip for them, and one that they have battled yet failed in most situations. So what do you do here against a team that's going to score a bunch of points? Portland's going to score even against a good defense. It's a matter of whether they're going to defend and whether they're going to get production from their bench, and that's the key against a team that's going to do their best to make you play defense for 15 to 20 seconds, which is what Magic do, and as well defend all out with with the relentless hands and feet and mouths, because they are kind of a cocky group too. Mm-hmm. What do you do here? The number's low, and I don't trust it at all. I don't trust Portland's bench to contribute. So I pass on either that, or this may be the spot where the Magic actually come through on the road, not only against the spread, but in the standings too, and win.
Ski, you love the last you love looking at the last 5 here. Trailblazers 3-1 in their last 4, coming off of back-to-back wins. Phoenix, Golden State, Lillard heating up here, averaging at least 26 points in 5 of the past 6. But Orlando started out, once they got to 11-11 at 500, they've dropped 5 of their last 6. So what is it, just situationally right now, they're a little rested? Maybe they come in here with renewed energy first half, maybe? What do you think? Mute button. Gotta be the
button.
My bad.
There you go. Got you a mute button. I knew it. Go ahead. I was going to start miming it, man, as soon as you went out there. So go ahead.
Yeah, you guys know I'll get it together eventually. But Portland, the teams that you named off, I'm not impressed by who they've been beating lately. What you say, Golden State, Phoenix? I mean, They haven't been doing anything. So that means nothing to me. In Orlando, I feel like they've been playing tougher opponents in Denver and Utah. And, I mean, that's back-to-back altitude games. They've been playing competition. They've now got Vucevic back. They've looked better as a team in general. They fought all of these games till the end, starting since that Laker game where they had a terrible start. And then they came back and made it a little respectable. They've been fighting really good. So I like what I've seen from Orlando. I think they're a play-on team since they got Vucevic back. And the way I want to look at this one, you're right. I want to look at the first half. Over the last 3, the first half point margin for Portland, minus 5.3. For Orlando, plus 1.7. I think they can keep it close and be winning or just not be losing by more than 2 at the half. So I like Orlando plus the 2 at the half.
All right, you got a feel, Tony, maybe a possible under in this game, seeing how it is. I think Orlando is second to last in scoring, about 103 points per game, and you got nobody on the team averaging at least 20 per game. So what do you think here? Maybe a possible look at the under?
I want to see a handful more games with the big back healthy in the middle for Orlando before I touch a total with them. Before I would have said yes. So I agree with the unders almost don't always play with Orlando. Without the ability, having that one player that creates some kind of a mismatch against their foe. So I'll watch for a while. No opinion.
All right, so let's get to, of course, it is bowl season here, guys. And there is maybe no bigger bowl tonight, toilet bowl, than the Pelicans versus GS here, the formerly known as the Golden State Warriors. Ski. Keep the toilet near because you might be throwing up if you're going to be betting on this game, which is why I love it, and which is why apparently, Finn, it looks like the sharps and the public seem to agree with this. They're all looking at the total. They don't think either of these teams apparently are going to be able to hit this number. Opened up at 225. I'm seeing 222s right now. 1 point Pelicans. They ended the losing streak. They actually won a game against Minnesota without Karl Anthony Towns. Can they beat Golden State on the road and make it 2 in a row? What do you think, Tony?
Well, I put a call in, an email and a call. I haven't heard back from my buddy that I know he's associated with Penny, because I was looking at I do a little bit of research. You guys, I actually do some work, and it shows that and I didn't see this, but it shows that overnights. And that Penny opened this total at 224. Okay. And it's showing action at 224, 225, 224, 224 for roughly for a short period of time, and then all of a sudden it goes to 214. I don't think that's just not a number. Penny doesn't make these mistakes. I think that maybe an error on my feed and when I get that information from. But I'm interested in the total. I'm interested because I don't know what to tell you other than the last time we talked. I think we did a show when New Orleans played. Was it Tuesday? Monday or Tuesday? Yep. We talked about the under. In fact, I think a couple of us went to the under in this game, and Gentry's not, his MO is not to play slow. It's not to be conservative. It's not to be diligent or deliberate or make the opposing offense work hard or their defense work hard. So I'm a little bit confounded by this number, although you're correct, Joe. There's actually some sharp action on the under in this, and so until I get my call back from my penny contact, I'll stay as mum as hush as
neutral
possible.
Spot. You're going Switzerland on this, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, good stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely no help to either of us here. So, Ski, let me go to you, man. Okay, it's a show of opinions, and he's going Switzerland. So do me a favor here, Ski. Let me know where you're hanging out here, man. Are you going, is it GS? Can we call him Golden State tomorrow? It does look like Willie Cauley-Stein's playing. I'm sorry, I couldn't keep a straight face saying it. But it does look like Redick, I believe, is back, and Ingram. So they got their full complement there in New Orleans on the road. Can they make it 2 in a row?
While I have this train of thought, my bad, Joe, but I want to talk about that total that you guys are talking about.
No, go.
New Orleans, they've been playing some defense lately. Looking at that, Finn was on the under last game versus the T-Wolves. Granted, that was without Karl-Anthony Towns, but game before that,
without Redick too, by the way.
And the game before that, they played Brooklyn, and it was an overtime game. And even the overtime, it didn't even go to the number. So they're finally playing some type of defense. And when I look at these last 5 game stats, Golden State defense much better than their offense. I definitely trust the defense more than offense. Offensive rating, 29th, second worst in the league. And Pelicans, I think we're going to start to see that defensive number get better. 2 teams that don't play extremely fast, 15th and 17th as far as pace. I would lean with that move towards the under just because right now, I definitely trust Golden State's defense more than I trust their offense, and the Pelicans have been playing good defense as well. As far as a side, Golden State 1-4 against the spread their last 5. We talked about the Pelicans. They're finally getting healthy, right?
Right.
Nobody really on the injury report, and they finally got a win. They're coming off a win. I think this is when you would want to play them. Playing against your boys, Joe. My bad. I know they're your boys, but
you're going.
I think it's time to take the Pelicans.
All right. Well,
I wore the shirt for you.
Yeah, I know what you're wearing. I know you wore it, and you're picking against them. So already you're dead to me. So no problem, man. We're gonna work this out because the shits and giggles parlay is going to be with your name written all over it. I do want to get one more game in here, guys, before we go to best bets here, because it's an interesting game. I find fascinating, really. This Pacers-Sacramento game. Talk about getting healthy. Sacramento, finally, you're right. De'Aaron Fox finally getting their full complement of weapons. Bagley back. They didn't pull through on the road against Charlotte a couple of nights ago. That was a little surprising to us, but here they are on the road with an opportunity to take down, this as possible maybe letdown after that big game against the Lakers. The Pacers ended up winning. They're laying, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's 5 now. Yeah, all right. So it looks like 5, and the number's creeping up here. 207 is what I'm seeing here, guys. So, Ski, talk to me here, man. Is it a letdown spot for the Pacers? You think the Kings can bounce back here?
Well, for one, TJ Warren is game time decision. The Pacers need him. Mm-hmm. Jeremy Lamb also game time decision. So I don't like that if you like the Pacers. And usually, I'm a fan of the Pacers at the house. Team that's much better at home than on the road. But as you said, Joe, I think it's a letdown spot here for these Pacers coming off that game versus the Lakers. And I'll take a page out of Marco's book. Call it a sandwich game. Ooh. They played the Lakers. Now they're coming to play Sacramento, and the next game they play the Bucks. So it could be a letdown spot and look ahead. So as Marco said, sandwich, and then Sacramento, 14-6 against the spread their last 20, 8-3 as a road dog, 10-1 versus 55% when teams are greater. Really? Sacramento's getting healthy now. I think Sacramento's the play tonight.
Interesting, and it's Tony, the injuries the Pacers have right now, and the injuries that they've been mounting up here, their scoring, I think, is a little more impacted than what their defense has been. But at the same time, Sacramento, because of how healthy they are getting, they got some firepower back here. The number, it seems to be, going up, creeping up. 206 was a, kind of a short number to begin with. Now I'm seeing 207s. You agree with the move?
No, I don't. Indiana's a terrific defensive team that do not get the credit they deserve, especially when they're at home. I'm not thinking or believing or even suggesting that this team would look past Sacramento, Bagley, and and a Fox, even with those two return, there's this game has twists and turns all over for me because first and foremost, I'd love to be on Indiana here. They're not the kind of team that just because they beat the Lakers, this is not the way this group is made up with Brogdon, and he's playing terrific basketball. And they have already played terrific through injuries, and they're about ready. I can't wait for them to get Victor back. I really can't, to see what this team can do in the East and who they can challenge and how they can match up against a Milwaukee and a Boston and a Philly team. However, I don't care that Bagley's back. I don't care that Fox is running the show. As long as Sabonis is playing the way he's playing and this Indiana team holds tight to their identity, they're tough. Now, what Ski mentioned is Warren. Let's watch injuries. I didn't jump on this game because of the injuries that Ski mentioned. However, I would have liked Indiana. If I'm going to play something at this point in time, I think your best bet is to grab this number under, because if Warren doesn't play and those injuries hold serve, I think that's a fair number, and I think that both of these teams will be offensively deliberate, let's say, and Indiana will play to their ranking at home, and they're pretty darn good at home. I think third or fourth adjusted defensive rating when they're playing on their home court. So I like them.
All right, guys, it is time. I can hear them barking, man. It's dog time here on the card. We always like to take a look at some of these underdogs, guys. We love going dog shopping. Time to go to the pound here. You look around this card. There's a lot of juiciness here, guys. A lot of juiciness on the card. A lot of meat on these bones here, guys. What are we thinking? Are we leaning? I don't know. Are we leaning towards one dog here, Profit, one way or the other? What are you looking at, Ski?
I usually like to give a dog. I think it's going to win outright.
Cover cash is the same. Go ahead.
Cover cash is the same. Okay. If I'm going to pick a dog to cover, I'd have to roll. I talked about the New York Knicks already. That would be my one that I'm rolling with. I think that they've been playing really well. They've been scrappy. I just think that they can hang with this team. I think 5-1 against the number, 8-6 as a road dog, 7-4 versus 55% win teams are greater. The way that they played, I believe in it. And until they show me otherwise, I'll ride it.
All right, we got a little Knicks underdog love there. And talk to me, Finn. Where's your dog on the card tonight?
It's a big card. It's a nice card. It seems intriguing, but I don't like a lot from this card. I'm so iffy. I'm so wishy-washy on so many games. But I will take this. I will take the Wizards in the points as the dog tonight. If Toronto, is this a trap? I'm telling you, it's a trap for anybody who's going to be on this Toronto team with the injuries they have. No, it's serious. And the Wizards, this is one game where the Wizards could actually go north of the border and win outright.
Wow, interesting stuff here. All right, so Washington and the Knicks. This is going to be good, guys, with the points, too. Availability. Now let's talk best bets, though. Come on, Ski. Let's talk about it. We splitting some stuff here tonight. What are we doing? Talk to me. Where are you looking here on the card? Best bet tonight.
I'm gonna do a Dr. Chuck style, and I'll split one for me, one for him.
Go ahead. Perfect. Go ahead.
So we'll go ahead and we'll fade. We're fading the Cavs on that first half. We talked about 3-11 first half against the spread at the house, and Memphis 8-3-1. So we ride Memphis on the first half. I think it's minus half a point.
Okay.
And they've covered their last 6 on the first half. In the second half, or the other game, we're going to go with Orlando. I think that they can be winning or keep it close on that first half, plus the 2 points. I'm not really impressed by who Portland's been playing. I think Orlando is a bet-on team right now after getting Vucevic back and the way that they've been playing. So I'll take Orlando first half as well, plus the 2.
All right, so Orlando first half, Memphis first half, not to mention the Knicks as Ski's dog right here. And how about it, Finn? You're going to go Washington, the Washington Nationals. I'm sorry, Washington Wizards, the Redskins, rather. You're going Washington, something in Washington. For the dog, what's your best bet here?
I really like this number with OKC against Phoenix.
Oh, I was wondering.
And I'm going to grab that number. I not only like this number, I really like this number. This OKC team seems to be
4.5. What are you showing, a penny?
That's what I'm showing. But I'd like to see them get in front instead of fall behind by 20 points. Because they're the only team, I think. What was the last time? Was a team ever overcome 2 24-point deficits to win games in the NBA? Back-to-back consecutively? I don't know. I didn't look it up, but it sure rings true with me. So I like them at home. First off, I like what their backcourt's doing, and I think they take care of Booker. And if you can take care of Booker, you take care of Phoenix.
Wow. All right. So we got a little Phoenix and Washington going on.
What do you got something to say. I can.
Yeah, really
ahead,
quick.
Ski. Come on, brother.
I was looking over and I looked over that game. I definitely agree with that for Tony. I just want to say I agree. Aiden is out and Booker is game time decision, so that's a great look.
That's a really good look, too. Yeah, they're starting to get a little banged up, too. So OKC, short number, 4.5 here, guys. Might be worth a look-see. And the under looks juicy in that, too, with those guys out, right? 220.5 I'm showing here. It's been creeping up since 218. What am I missing here, Finn?
I think that there's some sharp groups that are speculating about Booker. And and if they're going to think Booker's going to be in tonight, then it would make sense that there would be a few more wagers and investments to the over in this. But when I saw the number, I just completely ignored the total, and I looked at the injuries, looked at the situation, and as Ski just mentioned, I think the number's not only fair, I think it's got value.
All right, it's got a little value going on there. All right, so now it's time, guys. Little shits and giggles parlay here tonight. Plenty to go on here. If I'm looking around here, there's a lot of crap on the card. Yeah, listen, I know you're holding up GS there. I know you are, man. It's tough here, but I tell you what, I can tell you, team number 1 on the shits and giggles parlay, gentlemen. Yes, the New York sucks. The Knicks suck. That's exactly correct. So we're going definitely Knicks here as one of them. I'm backing you on that, Ski. I definitely think that's a place you've got to look. I do like, and Tony, because you went Washington, I'm going to include Washington on the shits and giggles because I do think the 6 points is a little much there for what is going to amount to a G League game there with the Toronto Raptors coming up. They should be able to cover it. And I got news for you. I'm going to throw another team in here that I think absolutely can get the job done here tonight. And that's going to be the Dallas damn Mavericks. And the Mavericks are going to get them done. They're going to put them down tonight. They are going to put them down, and that number keeps creeping up, and we're going to keep getting the Philly love. You keep pushing that number up. It's going to get the double digits for it's all said and done. Porzingis is going to drop 38 on him tonight, man. Triple-double is going to be a huge night for him.
Porzingis... He's a 20-10, 2 straight games.
That's
Is that
right.
the first time in his career he's ever? No, I'm just kidding. The first time with Dallas, he's done that.
He's starting to come into his own. I think he's starting to wipe the rust off a little bit here, Ski, a little bit. He really is starting to get into a groove. He going to take him down. He going to take him down.
He can start to look like a unicorn again, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, bring it down because look. Tomorrow, this is what we're going to get, guys, right there. That's what we got tomorrow, baby. It's coming. Give me Dallas, give me Washington, give me the Knicks, and if you're really feeling frisky, guys, give me the damn Cleveland Cavaliers. Oh, hell no. Hell yes. Give me the Cleveland Cavaliers, damn it. Cavs at home going to be able to get the job done here tonight.
That's a 14 parlay?
That's right. Just if you're feeling frisky. If you got a little something going on, maybe you want to do a round robin. You can do it that way.
Because I don't want to be involved in any 14 parlay.
Yeah, I don't listen. It's shits and giggles. All right, so I understand. It ain't pride and joy. Shit and giggles here, Finn. All right, so
robin this and do it for a very small amount, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh hell no! Go big or go home, people. Big or go home. I don't want to hear it, guys. Bottom line: make sure you get to WagerTalk.com there. Make the right choice here for once. Don't listen to me. Make the right choice. Get to WagerTalk.com. These two guys plays all weekend long. They'll be ready to rock and roll tonight. But you got enough to be dangerous with tonight. Make it a profitable Friday. Make it a profitable Saturday and Sunday at WagerTalk.com. Ski, Tony, always a pleasure. Ski, do you want me to send you the picture of the new king so you can put that behind you for Monday? You good? You all right?
You can save the regular season king. It's okay.
Okay, not a problem. You got it. No problem. We'll do that. Finn, pleasure, brother. Good luck to the plays tonight.
Thanks.
Guys, we will talk again on Monday, hopefully.
On Monday.
Have
a great. This is a pre-Christmas weekend. It's a lot of NFL on Saturday.
Yes.
Bulls
big
tonight.
Weekend, man. Yep.
The Knicks playing tonight. What more can you ask for?
Nothing.
A lot.
Shits and giggles around the horn here. Now, Finn, are you going to be here Monday, Finn, or are you traveling?
No, I am traveling. I'll be remote, but I will be here. I wouldn't miss it.
Good.
I wouldn't miss this damn show.
Ski and I got we got to make sure that we remind you that the Knicks are alive and well here, brother. The Knicks are alive and well.
Here's the problem I might have. I may I may appear to be the doctor because I may have like drunk people walking behind me,
Okay.
in the studio, in the pseudo or makeup studio I'll be in on Monday. So you'll have to forgive me.
Not a problem.
When you see naked girls and people drinking.
It's a shame. Yes, it's a shame, but we're here for you in case you need anything.
I'm sorry.
We are here for you. Tony Finn, Ski Profit. Make sure you get to Twitter, get to Wager Talk, guys. Enjoy your night. Enjoy your weekend. Good luck. We'll be back on Monday. The NBA Tip-Off Show powered by Wager Talk. Good luck, guys.
Ski.